Welcome back. Now, a firm believer that our past informs our present, our next guest has used his over 30 years of expertise in the world of folklore to inspire his latest literary endeavour.
From exploring old Irish customs to the new ways of modern Ireland, folklorist Shane Lehane joins us now to talk about your new book. Good morning to you, Shane. Congratulations on the new book, Old Ways to New Days.
Beautiful.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks a million for having me. It's great.
Well, it's fantastic. We're loving, in a world of digital and fast, it's brilliant to be able to talk and look back on some of the ways of ancient Ireland.
Yeah.
How did you get your love affair of of folklore?
You know, Tommy, I think I'm nearly born to be here today, right? My whole life really has almost been an inspiration, inspired really by older people, talking to the older generation. You know, it's something I've been doing. My father, he was a fantastic artist in the time, and he used to write a little piece called Wise and Otherwise. And part of what I tend to do in my academic career and so on, I love researching the deep academic backbone, but I love the little stories, the little anecdotes, the extra things that when I was recording older generation, they tell me little stories. And when you're writing in academic journals, you can't include those. So in this particular book, I've got the backbone that's there, but also those extra little stories and those extra little bits that are so funny and humorous and entertaining.
Because I would have grown up with pishogues. My grandmother was a great woman for the pishogue. You know, she had a red-haired child, and it was bad luck for anyone else to see a red-haired child first thing in the morning, so my grandmother would have to see her. There was the cats, there was certain birds that you couldn't see. So tell us, what exactly is a pishogue?
Pishogues are very interesting, okay? So one little aspect is that there's particular days when you can enact pishogues, specifically the 1st of May. And people used to, on the 1st of May, that was a day all concerned with butter and cream and milk and so on. And quite often people used to use these magical entities to steal butter from other people. And sometimes the pishogues were kind of things that they would put into their well, for example, maybe a spancel, which was like a tie that we used to use for milking the cows. And when people found that, they found, oh my God, there's someone is taking my profit away from me, and they're taking it to themselves. And there was all sorts of things. Eggs were another big pishogue. Eggs were the great symbol of fertility. You'd often have an old broody hen sitting on a load of eggs for ages, and nothing would hatch out. And they were kind of infertile objects. So if you wanted to get rid of infertility, you took it and you gave it to somebody else. So these pishogues were quite a kind of a serious business, actually. We use pishogues quite often for superstitions, but in folklore, pishogues were dangerous things.
Can I just ask about taking the egg and giving it to someone else?
Yeah.
Is this quite literally going, OK, I'm not having any luck here, I'm going to pass that on to someone else?
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's dark. And that was on the 1st of May, just before the sun came up. You know, the twilight zone? So when it was neither day nor night, OK, when it was just going up at the dawn, when the mist or the dew was on the grass, that was all there. So in the book, I'm kind of relating all of those sort of quite sinister aspects. Our folklore isn't all pleasant, OK? There's quite an amount of ugly things in there as well.
You talk an awful lot about deeply rooted traditions in the Irish culture, things from weddings, like a horse race and a wedding. What's that?
Yeah, there was a great tradition. Like, Irish people loved a bit of a hoolie, and every occasion in life had to kind of have a bit of sport involved in it. You'd love this, Tommy, okay?
I do, yeah.
So one of the most interesting things is that the bride would be brought by her father, Cúlóg, as we'd say in Irish, riding on the back of the horse with her father. When they got to the church afterwards, the groom would bring his wife then, and they would bring it back to where the wedding reception was on, and it was called the race for the bottle, okay? And they would literally go helter-skelter, everyone on horses, going like mad. Quite often, the bride would actually fall off, okay? And they'd still continue on to be the first to get the bottle, right? And what would happen is when they got the bottle then, he would open the bottle, he'd take the first swig out of it, it would be passed around to all the company, then the bride would take the bottle and she would throw it up into the air. And when it came down, if it smashed into pieces, it was going to be a great wedding, a great marriage. If it didn't smash to pieces, it wasn't a very good omen for the wedding at all. And all the girls then would pick all the little pieces of glass, they would take those home and they would put it under their pillow at night, and they were going to dream of their future husband who was going to be there. So all of our traditions are full of this incredible detail.
Health and safety offers all over the place in Ireland. There's so much in this. I love the way you talk about, brat breathers, we're talking about Bridget, the pishogues, but also you bring it into modern Irish.
Yes,
You're talking about the Padre Pio sticker on the car. You're talking about the lino in the kitchen and the Sacred Heart. It's amazing. But also us chatting about the weather. It's a big thing. How many words there are Gaeilge for rain?
Well, you know, I'm thinking of our wonderful Moncon McGann, sadly gone from us. And, you know, when Moncon wrote his beautiful book, 99 Words for Rain, you know, I had written this book long before Moncon, and I have a whole chapter about rain and so on. But, you know, rather than me being in any way covetous of my material, aren't we both celebrating the same obsession that Irish people have in rain? And when I think about rain, one of the things I think about is the first thing is we kind of deny rain, you know, which is kind of like, it's clearing up. It won't be there at all. Like the first thing about Irish people is like, it's only a shower, it won't go on for too long, or else it's look, it's only patchy, or, you know, we deny. But then there's a kind of a difference. All of a sudden, Irish people say, and this is confusing to people who are not Irish, we say, it's wet today, it's raining. And like, that's wet rain. Like, as much to say that rain shouldn't be wet at all, you know.
We do, yeah.
We have all that. And then, of course, we have all these words like the clodruk, ishke, you know, clodruk farnga. It's pattering down rain. It's dirty. And we could use other expletives as well. I won't use them today. But, like, we have this expression of that we own rain. And what I love about it is that when I'm off, let's say, on my holidays, I feel that I'm a kind of a connoisseur of rain. Like, I know all about what way it's going to be. And I walk, if it's only misting, I'm kind of like an Irish fella saying, this isn't rain, you don't know what rain is about, you know. I've got this kind of ownership of precipitation, if you like. And I think a lot of us feel that way, you know.
Listen, it's part of like day-to-day culture. You talk about how important people love their cups of tea. You also talk about the transformation. You mentioned new days, and like where electricity and things, Ireland has come into the new world.
Yeah, and you know, I was interested. Here we are, we're on television. I remember I've a great story about television. I remember when television came in first, my uncle down in Kerry, they had a small shop, and they were the first in the area to have a television. And that time, Thelma Mansfield was the news announcer that was there. Yeah. Beautiful Thelma with her golden locks and so on. And there was this old bachelor who used to come into the shop, and he put his head around the corner, and when he saw Thelma on the box, he got all kind of shy, you know. He thought she was looking at him, you see. He couldn't discern whatsoever. And my uncle, being a bit of a rogue, says, you know, she's looking at who? She's looking at you, like that, you see. And the man was absolutely mortified. And the next day that he came down, he would come down at night time because he was shy. One of the things, the next day, wasn't he all dressed up? He put on his Sunday suit and his hair combed and everything, because like he was on a date with the most beautiful woman of his life.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's what people think when they see Moran every morning.
Yeah, that's it. Old ways to new days. Shane Lehane, it is a gorgeous book filled with lovely things. I really do pick it up, and a lovely mention of the fabulous Moncon McGann there, who we dearly miss.
Pleasure, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.